Scott Drew on the line. Hello, Scott. How you doing? Thanks for joining us.
How you guys doing today?
Fantastic. Now, VJ had a message for you. He said you're going to love talking to Philly guys. So hopefully, hopefully you do love it. Listen,
hey, I do love it. So here's my first question: where's the best Philly cheesesteak place?
Well, there's two places that are tied for me. One is called John's Roast Pork, which is in South Philly. The other is Angelo's, which is also in South Philly. So stay in South Philly for your cheesesteaks.
All right, so you're not going to D'Alessandro's, huh?
Well, D'Alessandro's is in Roxborough, so that's the other end. But if you're in that area, yes.
Gotcha. So now I got north and south covered. That's all
you got the whole thing covered. You can't get a bad cheesesteak in town, to be honest with you. But I just gave you, one of them, and I gave you two more. Listen, Scott, by most accounts, this kid is a great kid who's very coachable, and there's nobody better to comment on that than his head coach. So tell me a little bit about VJ Edgecombe.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, there's certain things that, like having a motor is a talent. Somebody that will put their nose in there is a talent. Like VJ is a winner, and what I mean by a winner is nowadays, especially with so many people big into workouts and numbers, it's more about putting up numbers than it is about winning. And with VJ, he doesn't care if he scores 2 points or he scores 30 points. Did the team win? And that not only is that fun to coach, but also it's great to be a teammate with. And that means each night he's going to do whatever it takes to win because that's his goal. His goal is not to come in and average a certain amount of points. His goal is to win games. And those are people you want on your team and those people you can win with.
All right, let's talk about his game. Break down his game for me because it looks like defensively he can contribute right away. Offensively, it wasn't a great three-point shooter, although he did have 6 threes in the game against BYU. He's had a 30-point and 28-point game for you last year. But talk to me about his offensive production.
Okay, well, if you're talking offense, one of the things that we didn't know is just how good he was at facilitating out of the pick and roll. And, probably if we could go back in time, we had to put him in more pick and roll situations because he did a great job getting the ball out and making the right reads and allowing us to play 2-on-1, 3-on-2, 4-on-3. And then at the same time, if he can get his own out of that. As far as offensively, he can get to the rim, he can finish, and play through contact. But you mentioned his shooting, and if you look, his shooting numbers in the Big 12, I believe they're close to 40%. And normally people, their numbers are higher against weaker competition. And VJ, somebody that tweaked his shot. He was lifting, and his release point got different on his shot, returned it back to high school shot release, and in Big 12 play, close to 40%, and somebody that has a beautiful stroke. So I think you're getting somebody that over the course of his career is closer to a 40% three-point shooter than he is anything else. So that's somebody that you can't go under ball screens. You got to space the floor with, and that opens things up. And people have talked about comps from D. Wade, Jimmy Butler. I think, it's such a transition-oriented game. When he gets a rebound, he's like a young Russell Westbrook on the break. I mean, he's extremely difficult to stop in transition. And somebody that when he played with the Bahamas national team, you saw with how the floor is just more spread, obviously, in the NBA and international games with all the NBA players. He's someone in space is really, really hard to guard, and that's why his game translates so well.
Yeah, he's ferocious going to the basket. I assume we're going to see a couple mad dashes in the NBA to the basket for dunks like we saw at Baylor.
Well, and as a coach, it's kind of, we practice a lot more when we play games, so it's great going to practice every other day and getting the Sports Center top 10 play.
The Bahamian background, I mean, he seems to be a delightful kid, and he knows where he comes from, and he doesn't forget where he comes from, and he credits that a lot. for getting where he is. Tell me about like when you first were aware of him. Were you aware of him as a Bahamian player, or not until he got here to play in Florida and then up in the Long Island Lutheran?
Yeah, we knew about him when he got to Florida, and then obviously followed his career, and somebody that was a perfect fit. Someone that Baylor's the largest Baptist school in the nation, and being a Christian school, we call it Preparing Champions for Life, academic, spiritual, character formation, and athletic. And VJ's someone that embraces all of that, and somebody that you love players with small circles, and they don't want distractions, and they just want to spend time doing what God gave them a great ability to do. So he's somebody who loves to be in the gym, loves to get better, loves to compete, and not a lot of things you got to worry about with VJ.
What's he going to have to improve at this level that you see?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, the one thing that people are going to always improve on if they spend time in the gym, and that's their shooting, because you get so many more opportunities to work on your craft in the NBA. So his range will continue to improve, and again, I think over his career he'll be a lot closer to 40, and maybe that's 42, maybe it's 38. But I think that's one area. He's somebody still young. I think physically, when D. Wade got in the league, someone tweeted Dwayne's sophomore stats at Marquette, and then VJ's freshman stats at Baylor. Remarkably, a lot of similarities. And obviously, D. Wade filled out, got bigger and stronger. VJ's somebody that's going to look different in 3 to 4 years, just because he is so young and he is still maturing.
I wanted to ask you this. We're talking to Scott Drew, the head coach of Baylor Bears. Your opinion on, because the two Rutgers kids were talked about, well, they were great players out of high school, and their team wasn't that successful, and therefore that's a knock on them, even though both of them were drafted still. Does it make a difference that you play for a good team that makes the tournament? You guys made the tournament last year, won the first-round game until you ran into Duke. Does that help a player? Do you look at a player that has to have that experience to really be more of a viable NBA player?
Yeah. Well, I think there's always exceptions to the rule, but normally I think most people would say you want to go to a doctor that's had successful surgeries rather than unsuccessful. Coaches want to coach players that have been on winning programs and winning teams rather than people that haven't shown they can do it. So definitely I think the number one this is our 5th straight year with the top 19 pick, only program in the country to do that. But the one common denominator for players drafted, usually they come from teams that play in postseason. And again, everybody wants to win. So one thing is taking players that have won before. That's important. There's always exceptions to the rule, but I think generally all of us. I mean, even look at our shopping online. Like, I know my wife's really good at that, but you look at them reviews and people that got bad reviews, people ain't buying stuff from, right? You got great reviews, that's where you go. So, I mean, winning is good reviews.
You know what's great about you? The Drew family screams of Midwest, and here you are in Waco, Texas, and I'm listening to this Texas drawl coming out of you. Like you're the Valparaiso Drews. Come on, man.
Hey, I got the tournament too now. I got the tournament.
Listen, thanks for coming on. We really appreciate it. Hopefully the kid has a long career here. He's really being accepted. I think everybody really likes the Sixers pick, and from the interviews, he's been really kind of a delightful kid. So we're I think, happy here in Philly.
Well, the last thing I'll leave you with, the great thing about VJ is extremely loyal. So he's a guy that you can see being at one spot for 15 years, and that's rare nowadays too. So that's something I think the Philly fans will really appreciate.
Sounds good. Scott, thanks for your time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
All right, there he is, Scott Drew, head of Baylor, with his views on VJ Edgecombe. So far, like, everything is hunky-dory, Everything is about this kid is wonderful. By the way, you are listening to the Mike Missanelli Show on WPEN HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, Beasley Media Group station. We broadcast from the Comcast Business Studios. Take a quick break. We'll come back with your views on the VJ Edgecombe into Sixers draft, and the press conference is coming up at 11:30, and also some Phillies stuff. Max Kepler, public enemy number one, all of a sudden, back after this.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out our video. If you want more from the Mike Missanelli Show, somewhere on this screen, there is somewhere where you can hit the playlist. Keep interacting with us.